So basically, I work all days, all year long. I love my day so much that I want to repeat it every single day. I don't like Sundays because my fun is actually making stuff. So I don't see why I would take a day off. And when I go on a holiday, usually I go mad. I've met like hundreds of people who talked about their brilliant idea. The idea is in their head or maybe on their computer, but they haven't shipped it. And on the other side, I cannot recall a single person who told me like, hey, I have tried 10 times and it never worked. Just remember to keep shipping. Hey, I'm Marc Lou. I make $77,000 a month as a solo entrepreneur. I have built 35 startups and people often ask me, how do I get so much done? So today I'm excited to tell you about how I work. My days might sound boring for some people, but I live the exact same day almost every day, 365 days a year. I always start the day with a coffee and breakfast with wife, and then I hit the gym right after. We train at the gym together. These days we're practicing for high rocks. We did a little bit of a sled push and some squat and some running. Then we go back home. That's the moment where I start to put myself in work mode. I don't check my phone, I don't do emails, I don't go online. I stay completely offline at the beginning of the day. I just want to have this big block of time that is usually 4 to 6 hours where I really deep work. The reason that you don't check social medias is because I feel like there's so much going on at the moment, especially with AI, that I get this fear of missing out, that I'm not fast enough, that I should do more. And then it's 1 hour later and I lost 1 hour of my day and I feel like I lack some motivation to go back to work and stuff. The deep work is basically a moment of time that I protect because that's what got me here. And I know that, I need to get this deep work done if I want to go further. So this little boy here is completely off because that's the worst enemy. And then I open the computer here at this desk. I open my code editor and I spend the next 4 to 6 hours coding stuff. So I only create things. I don't check my emails. I don't check customer support because sometimes you read an email that something is broken in my app and I have to fix it. If that happens at the beginning of the day, then I'll fix this bug instead of actually working on what truly matters for me, which is creating more stuff. I shipped about 35 startups, and on those 35, 30 of them are nothing. They don't work. They barely don't make any money. They barely don't have any users. So the hit rate is about 5%. So if you want to roll the dice once and stick with that dice roll, nothing crazy will happen. But if you keep playing, at some point, one roll of dice will work. You'll have happy users. You'll start to make money. You can leave your job. You can roll the dice more often. When I was a student, if you tell me that my routine is waking up at 6 a.m. and working all day on my computer and not playing video games, I will think, I'm crazy stupid. But the thing is, at some point, I started to see people liking the work. I started to see my apps having users who were happy about the product. And then the routine came in place as a part of like, oh, okay, so if you stick to a routine, then more of this will happen. So stick to it. Now I really try to think less about what would be the output. I just try to think, what is the thing I want to exist? So recently I launched this little macOS app that analyzes your posture with a webcam and tells me if I'm sitting straight or if I'm just slouching like a shrimp like this. I did that because I spend so much time on my computer and I know it sucks to sit like a shrimp. So I was like, oh, this app must exist. And it's a new type of app for me. It's like an Electron apps, like macOS. So I'm not used to macOS apps. So before I released it on that day, I wanted to do, a last few checks. Like, is the licensing system works? When people get a checkout, do they get the email? 3 p.m.-ish, I think, I launched the app. So it went live with a tweet. I also shared on LinkedIn, Threads, and Reddit. And got the first customers. It was amazing. I think first day we did about 1,000 in revenue. Got also some good feedback. People started to post stuff on Twitter. I started to see my app in use in my users' hands, which is the ultimate happy moments for me. And there's the other type of apps that I like to make. They spark my curiosity. For instance, one of them was Trust MR, and it started because I saw a tweet from Peter Levels that say that so many people are faking their revenue. But I felt like, it's fun. Like, what if I make a little board that showcase, all the verified revenues of all those people, so we can see who's a scammer and who's telling the truth. And just like this was born an app that turned into a marketplace now that in itself, it makes like 35 plus K per month. I have a big list of things I have to make, so I have a few apps that are already running. Among them, there are features, like important features I have to ship. Initially, I didn't have many problems, but as you start to make stuff, you will get feedback from people, you will discover problems, and that will give you ideas. Now I have a to-do list that even if I live 200 years, I wouldn't be able to make all my ideas real. Every single day, at the end of the day, I have more stuff on my to-do list than I did at the beginning. And then once I'm done with the cycle, so now I've released this macOS app, I can move on. I will just go over my list, and there's this gut feeling over like, among those features, among those things, which one would have the most impact on the users, which one would make me the happiest, and I will just pick whatever comes next. We're always afraid to show our new creation and your ideas to the world in the first time. Just keep in mind that that's the biggest barrier to your success ever. There's this little voice inside of your head telling you that it's too early or it's not good enough. It's a bit like going to the gym for the first time. You see people on Instagram, they lift super heavy, and then you enter the gym, you don't know the machines, you don't know how it works and all that. But the moment you step in and you do one session, everything is not new. It's like you've done it, and then the next session is completely different. So it's a one-time fear. You kill 80% of it by doing it once, and then the remaining 20% you will just kill it with more iterations, but then it just becomes easier and easier. The only way to validate an idea is to ship it with a buy button. Now with AI, it's even easier to ship stuff. It's even more true. I have a slightly controversial take on AI is that there's a bunch of people who are obsessed with productivity and want to do more. They start to have their OpenClaw, like teams of agents running in the background. But I think the single KPI that matters hasn't changed in the AI era. It's still the number of things you ship. Right now, my setup is the most boring setup ever. Like I code, I see my same code editor, and on the right side, I have the chat. Single threaded, like I talk to an AI, it makes a new feature, I release it, I move on to the next one. I've shipped like 300 features on my marketplace in the last 3 months and 6 new apps this year in 2026 with it. And people fall for the productivity thing trick when in fact, you could do a lot of things with one of the first version of ChatGPT and a basic code editor.
So you found the opportunity that something is missing in the market?
Towards the end of the day, maybe 4 p.m., I'll go online, I'll check Twitter, I'll check my emails, I'll do the work that I find a little bit more boring, something that is less creative. 5:30 dinner, usually we spend way too much time eating because we watched again Better Call Saul, and then usually we have a nice walk, and that's the moment where I switch everything completely off, like very radical. So I turn my phone off, I go offline, the computer is off, there's no talk about work. Sometimes we watch a movie, sometimes we read a book before going to bed, and we go on bed at the exact same time every single day at 9 p.m. It's a bit religious. Before bed, we have a wind down routine that lasts 30 minutes to 1 hour. We start to dim the light at home, and then when you go to bed, you fall asleep instantly. I never set up an alarm, and I would always wake up around 6 to 7. Since I was a student, like the first 10 years, like 18 to 28 years old, I would always be sleepy. Like I would be on my computer, and as soon as I had to focus on some tasks, I would fall asleep. With a good sleep, I feel like I'm so much more emotionally stable. I have like super locked in focus. Like I could spend like 4 hours on the same thing. So I think sleep is really underrated. I think it's so important. One thing I see people making that mistake too often is they got this idea, this brilliant idea. They spend 6 months shipping it, and once they ship it, they get a few users. Maybe they make a little bit of money online. That is like become their very pet project. It becomes very important for them that they're so emotionally attached to it and they will still focusing on something that maybe it will take 3 years until it takes off and pays enough for you to quit your job. But it's much easier to keep rolling the dice and ship a new idea, because that idea might take off like 100x faster than the previous one. And every time you ship something new, you learn more stuff, you share about it, so you grow a little audience of people who discover your work. So I really think that playing the game of launching stuff is the recipe to have something that at some point will work out.
Shit.
Don't you dare give up. Don't you dare give up.